What a night at MSG, ladies and gentlemen. And the way this thing started, man, you were absolutely disgusted with the Knicks' effort. But one thing remained was that Evan Fournier came to play. You know, for some reason when these Celtics come on the schedule, Fournier seems to turn up. And a career-high 41 points for Fournier on 10 of 14 downtown, setting a Knicks record for most threes made in a game. But that wasn't all, because the Knicks were down by 25 points, getting destroyed in the first half, and they came clawing back. It was RJ Barrett who would get redemption on his former Duke teammate, calling the bank and sending the Knicks home with a victory, 108-105.
I mean, I'm speechless. At this performance. And the funny thing is you're not surprised that the fact that he played well against the Celtics because of what he did prior. It's just the level of shots, the difficulty of some of these shots.
Yeah.
And also he just totally looks like a different player in every facet. Confidence. You see the emotion, you see the passion, you see him looking at the crowd, you see him engaged. Even his movement on offense, he looked more precise, his technique, his mechanics, it just everything. And it's not like he's playing, some G League defenders. I mean, Marcus Smart is a good defender. Jaylen Brown's a good defender. Jason Tatum is a decent defender. Robert Williams is a shot blocker. I mean, the Knicks needed this win on national television at the Garden. You've been struggling from home. There's nothing we can slander from Evan Fournier tonight.
Not tonight.
RJ Barrett, moments like this, you remember why this is the guy that you want part of this Knicks team for years and years to come. It's just his tenacity. It's his fearlessness. It's his dedication. It's his nonstop, non-quick attitude. I mean, this game was so topsy-turvy too, because usually the first half of the game is where you see our best work, and the third quarter of doom comes around. We let the game get away from us, and we're playing catch-up in the fourth. This was a totally different game. We started off absolutely terrible in that first half. The third quarter comes around, and it's like a light switch. The young guys are cooking. Quickly is cooking. RJ is cooking. Julius Randle's out there hustling. And look, Julius didn't have a huge night in terms of scoring like an Evan Fournier did, but he was out there hustling. He was out there grinding. He looked like he wanted to be out there on the court. He looked like he wanted to be where he was. And that's the attitude you want to see from Julius Randle, because that's the attitude that's remnant of what we saw from him last season. And when he gets into that bag and he gets into that zone, this Knicks team is just so much better, because it's just transcendent. It's contagious. That attitude is contagious. That gritty New York attitude, the New York grits, we saw them tonight, and it was good to see those guys, because we've been missing them for sure.
Gritty. But give credit to RJ. He would end up getting to the line later in that game, later in the fourth. Only made 1 out of 2, which is why this thing almost went to overtime. We got to make our free throws, and then in the end, he makes the bank 3 to send it home. So I think it was just resilient effort by RJ is what I would call it. And then we got to shout out Quickly here, Ash, because for me,
of course,
Quickly was the one who really, with his energy on both ends of the floor, made some big shots in the third quarter. Knicks closed the third quarter on a 16-3 run. Quickly, in the final 3 minutes, Quickly, his energy in that third, to me, changed the whole thing around.
For tonight, I'm just going to talk about tonight. This team showed fight. They didn't give up. I felt like everybody that played in a Knicks uniform tonight contributed in some type of form or fashion. RJ was off. Listen, RJ gets a lot of slack, but I'm an RJ supporter, man. He was awful tonight. But you know what his best attribute is? His best attribute is that he doesn't give up.
Resilient.
He don't care. He don't care if he took 10 shots or he takes 0 shots. His confidence never wavers, and I appreciate that from a 21-year-old, because another 21-year-old would have not took that shot. He would have just froze up.
Yeah, and that's why I found it so fitting that the play where he got to the line, it was him versus Robert Williams, the Time Lord, going one-on-one to the basket. You know what I'm saying? So that was it was interesting. Yeah.
Evan Fournier, I need the Knicks to put the color green in front of Evan's white for the rest of the season. Just put the color.
For some
he's a whole different player. Like,
yeah, man.
I'm not joking. This guy's a whole different player. The confidence, this guy's shooting like he's Clay. But Fournier, he's a whole different player, man. It's crazy to see. But they, like I said, it's an easy schedule coming up. They got Boston again. Hopefully, reinforcements is on the way. They got to figure out this point guard situation. I mean, I know Burks is just playing because Kemba and Rose is hurt, and I know obviously Kemba's on the way back. But I still don't like Kemba and Fournier on the court together because there's no defense.
He was hitting such difficult shots, man. He was hitting like shots in the corner, like the shots that he usually takes where it's like off balance and you think he's not going to make it, but he was just like, he could not miss a shot, man. And he mixed in some floaters. IQ was obviously huge tonight. There were a couple moments early in the game when the game was getting out of hand and he hit some big shots, a couple threes. You know, he was just making all the right decisions tonight, man. And I got to say, like, RJ, man, this is why RJ is so frustrating, right? Like the last game, he had 32 points. And then tonight, it's like he's doing the same exact thing again, man. He sees Robert Williams there. It's like, yo, please do not try to get that weak stuff. Like, do not try to throw the floater up, man. Like, you're trying to go up amongst the trees. You're going to get that stuff blocked, man. You know, it was killing me. But the good news is that he made that great decision to throw that alley-oop down the stretch, because I know you all were screaming as you saw him make that move, like, please do not throw up like a weak shot, because very little confidence on that. I think this could be a season-changing win. Stan Van Gundy said if they win these two games, you know, you have the 2-game lead and the tiebreaker. So that gives us a little bit of a cushion when it comes to Boston. We look back at the end of the season and we're in a fight with them. We have that tiebreaker. That's key, right? So, look, with the favorable schedule coming up, if we can get that game Saturday, that'd be huge.